The COSO chose thousands of years ago to install a permanent exhibit. 50,000 pieces of rock art now nestle next to craters in a desert where the Navy designs to test grenade launchers and cruise missiles. Sun-scorched in this viewerless gallery, their thin white lines remind me of a local piano rock band called Parade the Day that broke up after 5 starved years of basement shows and bands sleeping. Some performing artists I know, a true name, something about a hippo, an elephant, and a train wreck, still tore, living in a tent and beating on their rusted saws and the busted washing machine they got for free if they hauled it. A particular chapbook, the product of a bowler-headed Hungarian man with a mermaid tattoo who read at the public library on a rainy Tuesday last October, hurdles through my mind, thin and maroon like a painted arrow towards its target, a clay brown deer. Here, a metaphor for truth. Capital T, the man went by 2 initials like Elliot, who's gone down as the man who strung the world together on paper and plagiarism. The very best plumber, heavy equipment operator, salvage crew, Mr. Fix-It we had at the time, but still, we only got fragments on ruins, a laconic visual of the stereotypical view of modern art that still listens, spews, and snorts is stupid. But Chris, just shut up, man. Listen, your heart's so good, you're trying so hard, man, but it's been 5 years, going on 6, and you still do not make sense to anyone. Don't worry though, ITT Tech's accepting applications, man. If you're humble and you just lay it down, we can salvage the latter half of your life. Just gotta quit for much of the same species that all of it was designed to reach in the first place. Yet, when it hits, when the startling clarity of a white goat scratched on the shady side of a rock formation, the Mojave takes a 21st century suburban kid in tight jeans and SPF 48, makes him consider time and space and the endeavors of man, how God has gifted such an undeserving species, then all of it all comes back to Havel. I have a poetry degree, not qualified to do pretty much anything in the whole world, so you don't have to believe this, but this is everything that my minuscule little 26 years has led me to think. Everything in the whole world, it all comes back to Václav Havel and the fact that sitting around speculating if an action will have an effect is the only way it surely won't. Everything in the whole world, it all comes back to Václav Havel and the fact that sitting around speculating if an action will have an effect is the only way it surely won't. It comes back to clenched fists and prayer and working the pavement, back to Molotovs and big pens on the subway cars to the minimum wage that's funding the next revolution, back to not selling nothing till after you're dead, back to barbaric yops, both virtuoso and in drop D, back to trusting God and swinging away through hell and high water and whatever comes next, back to soul, back to the Tagger Freedom, redoing Goya's the 3rd of May, Sans press release, Sans artist Q&A and afternoon lunch and social, back to the ruler, perfect shafts of light, and that abandoned Amtrak tunnel illuminating the deafening decibels of his pain, back to the persistence of cement songs, which is the persistence of stone songs, ink songs, lyric songs, the persistence of rising, of spreading, of small sparks like us that do not know their own size or what the world has to say about their particular potentials, of sparks ignorant of statistics and theories, of sparks without hands to ring or scales to weigh the pros and cons of failing, of sparks that simply burn with everything they have because they, you, we have all been created for that alone. Thanks.